Hey everyone, a quick little recap of the hearing yesterday in the Karen Read case, and also we have some rulings from Judge Bev. Judge Bev must have switched the whatever she normally drinks to energy drinks. She have ruled on two motions. Yesterday we had the hearing where we were discussing motions and the potential of having a hearing with Mr. Green, the tech guy from the defense. First, we had Gretchen Voss's attorney arguing that the state's wishes to have her private notes from an interview should be thrown out because that would ruin her ability to work as a journalist. She took those notes under the promise of being off the record, and now the state want to take that away. It should be protected as her journalistic freedom, and that she promised it would never be shown to other people. Hank the Tank, the great savior of the Commonwealth, Mr. 75K, stood up there again and said, well, I want it. Between you and I, no one else is listening. I know the anti-Karen Read side. Well, it's the anti-Aiden side. Let's be honest about it. They don't care about John O'Keefe or Karen Read. They just care about they don't like Turtle Boy. But they promised us, wow, they are bringing in a heavy hitter now. Hank the Tank, 75K, and he's going to win this case with his arms tight behind his back, both those eyes closed, and he could be on vacation. He's such a great lawyer. Well, he doesn't really show it in court because he's really bad at arguing his motions. Whenever he's writing motions, it comes off kind of like he's snarky. So I don't know. What do I know? I'm a Dane. I don't live in Massachusetts. I'm not a lawyer, but he's not getting my panties to drop with the lawyering he's been doing. And apparently, Andy Bev's panties also stayed on because memorandum of decision and order on non-party Gretchen Voss's motion for reconsideration of December 5th court order regarding records disclosure. And she seeks reconsideration of the order where she was ordered to give everything in support of her motion. In addition to her memorandum, Voss filed a second affidavit and the Massachusetts Newspapers Publishers Association, blah, 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 also find an amicus memorandum. Given the additional information presented in the aforementioned filings and after an in-camera review of the handwritten notes at issue, the court has reconsidered its ruling. The court concludes that the content of the record notes are at issue are of a different character than the unredacted recordings of the on-the-record interviews produced pursuant to the court's previous order. Voss has articulated a compelling argument that requiring disclosure of the notes possesses a greater risk to the free flow of information than the other materials produced. Conversely, the Commonwealth has not demonstrated to the court that it needs for the handwritten notes separate from the audio recordings outweigh the danger possessed to the public interest in the free flow of information. Accordingly, the court allows Voss's motion for reconsideration and will not require disclosure of her handwritten notes of the July 7th of the record interview. So Hank the Tank got turned down again. It happens. He's filing the motions. The press have a pretty high freedom. We know he also tried to kick out Dr. Russell. That got denied, even though Bev put a little snark on that, which I didn't like. She should not be showing her hand as clearly as she is. But he was trying the same thing with Dr. Green. And his arguments for Dr. Green, or Mr. Green, sorry, he's not a doctor, not to be allowed to testify is he didn't use the correct methodology. Methodology, metha, dollar, logy. methodology. He had no arguments other than, well, he didn't look at the data the correct way. Oh my God, talking about getting panties to drop. Alessi or Alici or whatever the new pro se, not pro se, the free lawyer Karen has gotten. Daddy dropped his panties when he stood. What I lacked in the first trial was someone who could understand and tell me about the data. Because I can understand physics, I can understand a car hitting and a bone breaking or glass breaking, but I don't understand val files, hash values, databases, open, closed, timestamps. I need someone to spoon feed it to me like I'm 2 years old. And this is this guy. I know a lot of people is blown away by Alan Jackson and Yannetti, but they are great lawyers. The problem they had was they couldn't bring in the technical evidence related to the phones. And when it was such a big part of their third-party culprit defense, I really needed someone to sweep me off my feet. And this guy, I was impressed. I knew he was a great technical lawyer, but yesterday, the way he ran circles around Hank, and he caught him in one of the best moments in this case, when Hank got up there for rebuttal and tried to, well, they don't know anything. And they just learn a few words of science and then claim that that's enough. But it's really important about the hashtags. And then Alessi went back up and said, yeah, that's really important that you don't just learn something to do sound smart in court, and it has values, not hashtags. Chef's kiss, Salt Bay, dabbing, whatever YouTube trend you like, do that. Yannetti looked like a cat who was just served cream. That was a bitch slap by a lawyer if I ever seen a bitch slap by a lawyer. Hank the Tank. I know all the free Karen, anti-free Karen Read people, which has nothing to do with Karen Read, but it's just about Aiden. They believed he was such a great guy. He was whoop, whoop. Everything would be amazing. He is not passing muster. He is not that good of a lawyer. I'm pretty sure that AJ and Yannetti could have taken him alone, but I'm just saying, I never had feelings like this for a man before. He's doing it for free, and he is showing Mr. 75,000 what lawyering is. This is, if I could do the meme thing with the sunglasses and da-na-na-na-na, he is the OG in this case so far. The other lawyers she had were great lawyers. This is probably the best addition they could make to the team. He made me understand what the technical data was. And maybe that's why we have the second filing that we got. Because the second motion to have a hearing where Hank the Tank wanted Jessica Hyde and Whiffen to attack the other side's expert, which you don't do. Never do Daubert hearings like that. Bev had a ruling saying, after hearing and review of the written submissions, have determined that I can decide this matter without any future hearing. What does that mean? That means there won't be a Daubert hearing. And you can think, well, she can still kick him out. I'll defer to Andrea Burkhardt, who answered one of my tweets, that when she does that, it's 99% sure. I'm putting in the percentages. She didn't do that. But it's very sure she is not going to rule against him. She's not going to kick him out from the trial, because then she would want the Dorbit hearing on the record so she could use that in case there's an appeal and say, well, because of this. This should be read, in my opinion, as Mr. Green is back. And Hank the Tank lost another argument. And now he's going to have to battle Mr. Green with Witten, the guy who didn't do due diligence, the guy who, in all fairness, probably is a smart guy. He made his own program. I couldn't do that. But he's not what the other side says. I know the human thumb, Plevin and the addict, will tell you, oh, he's a master. He doesn't write a line of code for Celebrite. What he does is he sells Celebrite. And when people call him and say, hey, we can't get this to work, he will go to the smart people at Celebrite. He has nothing to do with Celebrite. He never invented it, as they claimed during the first trial. He's not a coder. He is a glorified sales rep and a person who takes the customer's order to the people who can fix it, because he can't do that. He has no more education in Cellbrite than a normal police officer who took the Cellbrite course. He has no background that could even get close to what Mr. Green has. So, Hank the Tank, you were seen as the savior of Canton by all the anti-free Karen Read people. They put all their trust in you because you were the best lawyer in history. You were a super lawyer. In reality, you just lost deuces yesterday. You have lost both your motions to exclude experts, and you're still trying to get a bite at the ARCA guys. My best guess is he probably won't even file that. And if he does, it'll be stricken as well. They have what's necessary to be an expert. Expertise is what's needed. Their opinions is for the jury to determine if it's right or wrong. So, congratulations, people of Massachusetts. You paid $75,000 for someone to take a trial on, and this is what you got.